DreAllDay.com.
Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. Let's talk about change and elevating and leveling up. And this is something this idea I got from one of my favorite books. It's called Thick Face, Black Heart, written by a woman by the name of Ching-Ning Chu. And this book is, I don't even know when this book came out. It's been over 20 years, might even be 30 years, because I know that Ching-Ning, she passed away, I believe, in 2010. But this book is a very popular personal development book, and there's a lot of ancient Eastern philosophy in this book, because Ching is, I believe she's from China. I think she's from China, but it's somewhere in Asia she's from. And one of the ideas in this book, actually, to go to the bigger picture of the book, if you never read the book or you never heard of it, the book is really about mindset. It's a mindset personal development book, but it's not talking about it in the way that us in the Western world talk about stuff. Like, we talk about things like discipline and confidence and mental toughness and believing in yourself and certainty and, not having self-doubt. She talks about those things, but she approaches it from a completely different perspective because she comes from a completely different world. In the Eastern world, they just look at things differently, even though many of us, we often come to the exact same conclusions. But that's why the book is so great, because it approaches it from a different angle. And sometimes you might need to hear the same thing from a different person, and you might get it from them, but you might not be able to get it from him or her over there. So anyway, the book is called Thick Face, Black Heart. If you haven't read it, go get it. Any book you ever hear me mention in a video, podcast, anything, go get it. All right, so anytime I mention a book, that means you should go get it without me having to say it. But anyway, in this book, one of the things that Chu talks about is when people want to elevate and they want to succeed, quote unquote succeed, and go to the next level in their lives, whatever that next level happens to be. Now, all of us talk about success, right? Sometimes you ask somebody, sometimes I'll ask people, who's 17, 18 years old, and they'll come to me and they'll say, Dre, what do I need to do in my life, or what changes do I need to make, or what do I need to learn about so I can be successful in life? And whenever somebody says something like that to me, or I ask them, so what are your goals? Where do you want to be 5 years from now? Where are you headed? And somebody's answer is some form of, I want to be successful. I always have to ask them more follow-up questions. Like, what the hell does that even mean? What does it mean you want to be successful? It doesn't mean anything. Success is self-defined. Each one of us get to define our own success, which means if I tell you I want to be successful, you don't even know what that means, because I get to define my own success. So if you tell me, and I say, where you want to be in 5 years, you say you want to be successful, I don't know what that means. So what Ching says in the book is that many people say that they want to be successful in life. Now, however you want to define that, most of the time, let's just make an assumption here. Then when you say you want to be successful, that means you want to be doing better next year than you're doing right now. All right, is that fair? Everybody can understand that success to you, and whatever it means to you, that means you're probably going to be doing better than you are now. You're not going to be doing the same. You're not going to be doing worse, right? You want to move up and go further and go harder and make more money and achieve more things and have more accomplishments and make your name more known, or whatever it is you're going for, you're going to go to a higher level. And what Ching-Ning says in the book is that many people say that they want to be successful in life, but often they don't really mean it, because they're really just going through the motions. And I'm paraphrasing what she's saying here. You read the book yourself. But every time rather, when you want to be successful in life, here's the thing that we all have to embrace and understand. Success requires a change in the status quo. And this is my words now. A change in the status quo means you have to take the known conditions of your life, meaning the way that you live right now, everything you have going on right now, the people, places, things, habits, actions, all of that, and you have to exchange some of them for a completely different set of circumstances in order to create success. That's a requirement of success in life, is that whatever you're doing a year from now, if you're going to be more successful, is going to be different from what you're doing today. That just makes sense, right? If you want to have, let's say you want to have bigger muscles a year from now than what you have right now, you're probably going to have to do some things differently over the next year than what you've been doing up to this point. Because otherwise, if you're already doing those things, you would already have the success, unless you're already in the process. And this is where a lot of people fool themselves. They say, well, look, I'm already in the, they say, well, look, Dre, I'm already in the process, so I don't need to make changes. I just need to do more of what I'm already doing. Really? I want you to challenge yourself on that right there. Anyone who's listening to this, and this is something that, let's be clear, I'm not just preaching to you. This is something that I even say to myself. This is why every video that I put out is not just for y'all. I'm talking to myself as well. That's why I make the video talking to y'all. I get to talk to me and you at the same time. Many people will say, well, look, I'm already in the process. Everything I'm doing now, if I just do more of it, then I'll have the success that I want a year from now or 5 years from now, or I'm already on my way to success. I just need to keep doing what I'm already doing. I already got the winning formula. I'm asking, are you sure about that? If you really take what you're doing right now and you, what's the word I'm looking for? If you expand that out, let's just say what you did for the last month, if you do that for the next 12 months, are you going to be where you want to be a year from now? Is that really going to get you there in a year? You look at what you did over the last year, the last 12 months up to this point, and you do that for the next 5 years, the next 60 months, will you really be where you want to be? Are you going to be athletically where you want to be, financially, physically, relationship-wise? Are you meeting the kind of people that you want to meet? Are you doing the things that you really want to do? Are you living the way that you want to live? If you keep doing what you've been doing up to this point, are you already in the process? Or are there some elements of your process that probably need to be changed, upgraded, exchanged, removed, edited in order for you to get to where you want to go? 99% of us is the second one. 99% of us are not doing everything that we need to do to get to where we want to be in the future. If you want to keep it real with yourself. Now, if you want to bullshit yourself, you can say, all right, I'm already in the process. Let me just keep doing the same thing. And trust me, I'm a person I talk about personal development. People come to me for personal development, accountability. No, this is what I do. So I talk to people about these things all the time. And maybe you would believe, but I would bet that you wouldn't believe how many people delude themselves into thinking that what they're doing right now is enough, and that they just keep doing the same thing, they'll get exactly what they want in life. Most of the time, that's bullshit. Most of the time, that's bullshit. For you to get what you want in life, you're going to have to make some exchanges, meaning some of the known conditions of your life, the things that you are currently comfortable with, you're going to have to give up some of those for some things that, and Ching used these words. She said, uncertainty. That was the key word that she used there, uncertainty. And the reason why I'm emphasizing that word is because when many of us say that we want success, often what we're really saying is we want success, but we want success while still sticking with the things that we're comfortable with. We want success while sticking with the things that we're already certain about and that we're comfortable with and that we're used to. And in the last video, at least the last one of this kind of video that wasn't the podcast episode, what was I talking about? I was talking about you bringing the certainty to your team and to the people who look up to you. This is a different type of certainty I'm talking about here. Certainty I was talking about in that video was the certainty of you being a confident person so that the people who look up to you, they can feel confident as well. Certainty I'm talking about here is the kind of, I'm talking about you with yourself. There are certain things that we are all cool with and used to, our AKA our comfort zones, the things that we're used to in our lives, used to doing every day, used to being, used to thinking, people that we're used to being around. That's your comfort zone, right? The things that you're all right with, you know what's going to happen, you know how it's going to go, you're all right with them. In order for you to get to where you want to go in life, of course, everyone understands the general concept. You're going to have to step outside of your comfort zone. Everybody's familiar with the concept of the comfort zone, right? What you're comfortable with, that's where you are right now. To expand and grow in life, you got to step outside of your comfort zone and expand your comfort zone. Everyone understands the concept when I talk about it, but how many people are actually living it? When is the last time you exchanged some comfort area of your life for some area that was uncomfortable? And how often are you putting yourself in a position to step out of your comfort zone and step into something that's uncomfortable? And if and when you do, are you willing to stay there? And this is what happens with a lot of people, even people who are trying to take that next step towards however they define success, is that they take a step towards the next thing, stepping into uncertainty, stepping out of their comfort zone. But then as soon as they experience that discomfort, they experience that uncertainty, they go right back to where they were before, because that uncertainty was so uncomfortable for them. They're not willing to stay there. They're not willing to play around in that area. They're not willing to soak themselves in that energy of that uncertainty, because it's uncertain. All right, there's a reason why uncertainty is uncertainty. There's a reason why the comfort zone is the comfort zone, is because it's hard to stay in it. All right, that's why most people in life do not advance past where they are. Basically, the way that you meet them and the way that you run into them, that's pretty much where they stay. Most people pretty much stay the same their entire lives. By the time they get to a full-grown adult, let's say by the age of 18, 21, 25-ish, most people never change from there. Whether we're talking their careers, whether we're talking them as a person, the way that they think, the way that they act, the way that they conduct themselves. Most people never advance or change at all. There's no growth for most human beings. Why? Not because people are stupid. It's not because people want to be losers. It's not because people want to maintain. There are many people who do want to maintain the status quo, but there's a lot of people who don't. They claim they don't want to maintain the status quo. They claim they want to move up and elevate and advance, but as soon as they find out what it actually feels like to elevate and advance, what it feels like to move up, what it feels like to have to exchange the known conditions of their lives for some uncertainty and some unknown conditions, you know what most people do? They go right back to where they were because they don't want to deal with that discomfort. So the point of what I really want you to get from this video here is that when you are moving up and advancing in life, when you're leveling up and bossing up in your life, there's going to be a lot of uncertainty that you're going to have to deal with. You're going to have to exchange the known comfort zone for some unknowns that will be uncomfortable. They will not feel good. You'll feel naked. You'll feel alone. You'll feel like maybe you should just go back to where it was comfortable, where it was safe with the things that you already know about. And your willingness, or actually not even say your willingness, the decision that you make, whether you decide to stay there and play with that energy of uncertainty, or if you go right back to where you were before because you're not willing to dance with it, will determine how far you go in life and how long it takes you to get there, period. I don't think I need to say anything else. So all that said, I got a new book called The Third Day, and the subtitle is The Decision that separates the pros from the amateurs. All this stuff connects together, and I didn't even plan it that way, but all of this stuff that I talk about connects together. So if you haven't yet claimed your free copy of my book, The Third Day, we are shipping those books out now. So if you did claim a copy, your book will be on the way soon if you haven't gotten it already, but it's coming soon. The link to that book, to get the book free, all we ask that you cover the shipping, help us out. The link is thirddaybook.com. It is down below. And I got a text message line where I want you to text me. Tell me the best thing you got from this video. My number is 305-384-6894. Again, 305-384-6894. Send me a text. Tell me the best thing you got from this video. And you can ask me any questions, share a challenge, whatever, there when you text me. And yes, that is me. I'll be texting you. And when you text me, you'll be getting my daily motivation text that I send out every morning. So I don't have to say anything else. Work on your game. Dre, all